Live from Beantown on this Wednesday morning. It's the day before the day that begins the 2024 NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. And George Balekji of NESN joins us live right here on this Wednesday to get you set with everything, and I mean everything you need to know. Ratings be damned. That is rating things from 1 to 10. Narratives out the window. George gives you the hard stuff, the hard info here on this Wednesday to get you ready for the 2024 NBA Finals. George, as always, we are glad to have you here on the early line.
Boys, it's always good to be back with you and to be reunited with my Jersey brother and Donnie right side as well. But nothing better to talk about right now. I'm with you, Ben. When I become commissioner of the NBA, I'm taking away this BS where you have to have this gap between the conference finals and the finals because I'm done. I'm impatient. I'm done waiting. We'll remove that, but for now, I'm excited for the game to be just a day away.
You don't even realize, Georgie, how much of a kindred spirit you are with Donnie Rightside at times, because when Donnie doesn't like TV scheduling, he offers himself up to be the commissioner of whatever sports league it is. And George just did the same. You guys really need to meet in person and hang out and have a large meal at Chipotle or wherever Donnie is going to bring his daily fast. Now, that would be something. Because, George, we've had to get creative here on this show to start to preview and build the excitement and hype once again for the NBA Finals. But with you here, it's almost like a true signal that the NBA Finals are up next, and they start tomorrow. And good news for the C's, Kristaps Porzingis is expected to play in game number 1. Back at practice, a full participant. He has completed scrimmages, and barring any setbacks, KP is back for Boston. We last saw him early in game number 4 of the opening round series for the Celtics against the Miami Heat. George, having Kristaps Porzingis back in the lineup for the Celtics, what does it mean overall for Boston?
I think the big part is defensively what he brings. And, of course, I'll get to the offense on this. But if he can just dictate the lob threat and try to limit it or take it away, and that's between Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and, of course, Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, what he brings there defensively will be huge. Because keep in mind, as big as he was for this team, averaging 20 points per game, shooting 38% from 3, pulling down 7 boards, and stretching the floor, opening up the inside for the Jays, defensively, he's been their rim protector. So on the defensive side of the ball, if he can hang with those guys and limit it and take away that threat and really push and force this Mavericks team to shoot, where really they're not a great shooting team, yes, Lively can get out there. Yes, P.J. Washington, but is it P.J. Washington of the Clippers and the Timberwolves series or P.J. Washington of the Thunder series, right? And also Maxi Kleber back. He can shoot as well. But outside of Luka, this team isn't that deep in that sense. But offensively, what it comes down to is if he is there and he can give 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 25 to the Celtics tonight and withstand the whole series, I go back to what he does as a shooter, as someone that creates a lot of action from the nail on the free throw line and also in the pick and roll, playing with the Jays, what he does to create those mismatches. And at the same time, of course, get out there and shoot, because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown had their most success against the Pacers when they went to the rim and attacked. But when you have Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington can step in and defend there as well. Now Maxi Kleber back, that's where Kristaps Porzingis has to step up. But I am skeptic because when he drops into game 1, he said he scrimmaged. He said he's going to go game 1. He said he can run. It will be 37 days between his last and his next NBA game. And the physical, mental, emotional toll of the NBA Finals is different than any other thing. And he's never made it past the first round in the playoffs. So, can he just drop in and be the Kristaps he was? No, that's impossible for game 1. Maybe game 2 you get that back. But at the same time, can he withstand and be there for the entire series? I'm skeptic of a guy that's missed 73 regular season games the last 3 years and 10 playoff games this year, especially coming back from an injury like that. 7'3", athletic, but you demand so much out of him on both ends of the floor.
It's a great point you bring up, too, because so many times we talk about players like getting hurt in the regular season. Hey, can they come back a few games before the playoffs to ramp up? You're coming right back to the NBA Finals. There is no ramp-up time, and quite frankly, it wasn't as if the Boston Celtics, George, were sitting back like, boy, I don't know if we can win any of these games without Porzingis. They just as fine. 5 games, and 4 games. Now they wind up in the Finals. But let's talk about this rest advantage or maybe disadvantage for both of these teams coming in. If you look at the Celtics, they were fantastic throughout the regular season. And yes, they did play some opponents here that were injured and certainly not as good as the Celtics, but they handled their business. What can we anticipate in game number 1 from the Boston Celtics? Because as you pointed out, Porzingis is coming back, maybe a little bit more of a learning curve, but not playing high-level basketball and just scrimmaging for roughly a week and a half, it feels like.
Yeah, and also for the Celtics, they had the long drop-off. And think about their path to the finals. A bad Heat team with no Jimmy Butler, a banged-up Cavaliers team that didn't have Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert by the end, and a Pacers team that, lost Tyrese Halliburton, but also was the worst defense remaining in the playoffs and only got to that spot because the New York Knicks had one healthy body by the time they got to Game 7, right? And then look at the Mavericks. 350-win teams is what they went through. They went through the 1 seed. They went through Anthony Edwards. They went through these tests. And yes, the Clippers with no Kawhi, but the Mavericks are certainly more battle-tested. What I expect in Game 1, and this is what the Celtics do great, though. They have 4 bodies they can throw at Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. The Jays, in my opinion, should be on Luka because physically they have the size and athleticism that gives him trouble, especially Jaylen Brown. Then Drew Holiday and Derek White on Kyrie Irving. Any switches they can do there, it's fine. But it's all about what they bring defensively to the Mavericks that they haven't seen yet throughout this postseason. And I think that's what's so essential for their success is their wings. Now, offensively, you just still need to see an aggressive Jason Tatum. And it's all about, well, who's defending him? Because if it is P.J. Washington, then the offense will go through Jaylen Brown. And that's what it's been this postseason. But same thing for Jaylen Brown. Just don't get cute at this point. Go to attacking the rim. Don't settle. That's where I get worried with the Celtics team. And Donnie, all my attention is going to shift to them when it's 5 minutes left in the game. Because do they settle for threes? Or do they go to keep attacking to the rim compared to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who are so patient, search for great shots, will get those, and seek those out, and set up their teammates to success? I just don't want to see Jason Tatum dribbling the ball into the floor for 20 seconds, no one moving, and chucking up a sidestep three. Because the Mavericks will live with that shot every night of this series.
Great breakdown, George, from the matchup perspectives that we can expect here in the 2024 NBA Finals, where we've seen a little bit of odds movement in the last 6 or 7 days. Boston now a minus 225 series outright favorite. It was minus 220 just a few days ago. But we're talking a couple of cents. However, where we have seen the most movement is how long this series is expected to go. 7 games, the full duration, now being the slightly shortest number at plus 195. It is time in the final 2 minutes of this segment to get George Balekji's official 2024 NBA Finals Series prediction. George, who wins an NBA championship this season, and then how many games?
Look, the Celtics bring the best defense the Mavericks have seen this entire playoff. And the Mavericks come in with 2 of the 4 best players in the finals, while the Celtics have 5 of the best 7. Now, the Mavericks clearly have the number 1. But what the Celtics bring defensively to this Dallas matchup is what I'm going to be watching for. Jaylen Brown on Luka Doncic. Drew Holiday on Luka Doncic. Because when he was struggling against Lou Dort in the Thunder, that's a strong, big, physical, great defender, right? And then Kyrie Irving. How much does he give into this crowd in Boston? Look, it's not because he left. It's what he did when he was here in Boston. And that's why they hate him. And I'm fine with them booing him. They still treat him like a human being, right? But Dallas, what they have late in a game, they have a number 1 player that has been playing in this level of games and this high magnitude of scenes since he was like 15, 16 years old, going against a bunch of 30-year-olds. Yeah. The Mavericks have the best player in the game. The Celtics have the best team. It's tough for me to see, though, a team that's as battle-tested as the Mavericks has come through, and with Boston banking so much on Kristaps Porzingis, which I don't believe he can make it through a full series, I'm going Mavericks in 7, and it feels so dirty to say. I hate saying it, but I think Mavericks in 7.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Wow.
I like no bias here.
George
Ben, if you remember,
Balekji.
Ben, two years ago, Ben, I said Warriors in 6 in the finals.
You did. You did say Warriors in 6, and that was the perfectly
Some
correct
said Suns in
prediction.
4, too. Yeah.
And,
was that
and there's
it?
something to be said, too, with the coach. There's something to be said with the coaching matchup in this. I don't believe in Joe Mazzulla. I really do not.
Wow. George Balekji making a statement. We appreciate the time. More on the early line next.